May 27th, the big drop, Free the Narrative. That's what we want to talk about today. And coincidentally, right now, I know you can't see me right now, EC3, but I am drinking black coffee, and I drink it every day, and I'm not kidding.
Well, that must mean you're a psychopath. And if you're a psychopath, you should swing by freeec3.com and get your Psycho Boy tank top in camo, in black, in white, whatever. I'll make you any shirt. I don't care.
Well,
It's words on the shirt is awesome. But enjoy your coffee. I just had mine, and I'm ready to rock. But first, before I start, I would just like to say I've known your name for a while. Like, you always had signs in audiences and things like that. So, you know, you have your niche, you have your fan base. And I will say your fans, out of all the YouTube shows or podcasts, your fans that troll are the most creative trolls. So respect to that.
Oh,
That's
God.
cool.
Yeah, you know, I saw someone the other day, and they said, yeah, people either love you or hate you when I talk to them. And I go, I don't even know that this many people know about me until I'm out at a show or I'm doing commentary. And I either get people coming up and saying hi, or I get, like, stared at. And
Loved, hated, but never ignored.
exactly.
That's the deal. Like, you have to go out there and you have to do something. Give me an A or give me an F. Don't be run of the mill. Don't be in the middle. Don't just get by. Like, do something. Be bold. Be creative. Be anything other than what everyone else is. And I mean, that's free the narrative too. It's just going out there, it's taking a wild shot at something. Maybe it'll be a huge catastrophe. Maybe it'll be a gigantic success and change the way people look at the industry in a sense. Maybe it has a niche outside of wrestling, which I really hope it does.
Yeah.
Who knows? But the fact we went out there and did it, I respect that. I kind of think that was a Hansel quote from Zoolander.
Well, and I also, dude, I connect with what you're doing. I get this so much because what you're saying is 100% true. Because look at what it got me. You know, I'm doing this for a living, and, you know, I'm doing this. I have a house, all that stuff that you just said, all because of this, taking that chance, and that's what you're doing. And speaking of Free the Narrative and what's coming out May 27th, you know, I love the idea from the beginning, and I'm intrigued by it. You had that sit down with Matt Cardona, and you guys kind of shot on each other about some real shit with black coffee, you know, with this whole theme. Where did that come from, and where are we since that video dropped?
Did you ever see the movie Heat?
Yeah, it was a while back.
All right. Well, two in their prime, De Niro, Pacino
Right.
actors. They made this movie, and then the director, I believe, was like, wait, we have two of the most famous actors of all time, and we don't have a scene with them together. So they kind of ad-libbed and put together that scene of them in a diner together, and they just let them talk.
Right.
And I thought, you know, one day if I was ever in a creative aspect in wrestling, that it would be very cool kind of shot to just have two dudes sitting down and airing their grievances. And if it's looking for like a wrestling equivalent, I'm reminded of like, we're not them, obviously, but like Stone Cold and The Rock before WrestleMania 17, where they had that sit down interview with JR, and just how like, there's no writing, there's no creative, there's one take, two dudes talking it out, setting up, and they're about to get their asses in a fight. So that's kind of where it came from. Since then, well, I went to the hospital, had an infection, had some stenosis and some cellulitis, so almost died, but I'm cool. I'm back. I'm alive and ready to rock. We're releasing Free the Narrative Thursday, May 27th on Vimeo, www.freethenarrative.com. Since we're best friends, I put together a promo code, 20% off, Free Cronin. So any of your fans and fellow trolls want to check it out, Free Cronin, we'll get you 20% off checking out the narrative. But since that coffee shop, it's been all systems go, trying to do something unique, original, and completely independent. There is no finance behind this besides my own. There is no three-letter corporate wrestling company behind this. This is a complete independent production.
And
like, we had time on our hands. We had a pandemic. We didn't have a ton of work. Let's do something wild, different, change the game.
Well, with what you're doing here, we kind of, I guess, got to back up a little bit. I got two little questions here to insert into this. One is that when people saw, you got to talk about the obvious thing, because we were ranting about this back when it happened. When they launched, and not to go back in time to WWE, but when they launched Raw Underground, the first thing I did on my show, I think, that night, was I blew up and I said, dude, they literally are ripping off EC3 and they don't know why they're doing it. And if they are, it's devoid of actual passion. And it was, just like you think, because you're not doing it, it felt like, because it was really a good idea that they had. It went nowhere. But this was where this first came up. Do you feel that way still, that they really just some kind of weird stab at you?
I don't think it was a stab at me as much as probably somebody saw it and said, hey, I have a good idea. What if we do this? Plus, this character arc and idea is something I pitched before I left the company.
Right.
Like a lot of things, people pitch one thing and then somebody else gets it. I don't think it was a stab or an arc. The controlling the narrative, it was convenient. It was interesting. Whether it was inspired, taken, it doesn't matter, because the thing had no heart. And regardless, I guess if it is imitation, that's the sincerest form of flattery. But I knew watching it, like some people I worked with doing narrative stuff was pretty bent out shape about it. But I said, the second we do this, the second I drop this to launch this new character, it's going to be stolen. You know that, right? Because I know wrestling. So
right.
Regardless, I don't think it was a shot as much as maybe some writer was struggling for an idea and saw that and said, hey, what if we do this? And it kind of came to be, but
no one got built off it, though. That's the thing. Nobody got found their narrative. Nobody got built off it. No one got made off it. No results happened from it. And that's the complete opposite of what you're doing here.
I think, too, it kind of spits in the face of all the other wrestling with the way they did it. It's like, this wrestling is sort of more real than the stuff you saw the hour before.
Yeah.
Like the narrative, and within Free the Narrative, I think cinematic wrestling has completely lost the point, has jumped the shark. So I don't want people thinking this is a cinematic wrestling show where EC3 has transformative powers and Matt Cardona could turn into a cartoon character. Like, it's the wrestling needed integrity and to be real. And the same thing with the underground, like maybe this is real, but that's not real. There was just a really big disconnect, but it's not my billion-dollar company. So they're free to do whatever they want. They control their narrative. I will control my narrative. And Thursday, 5/27, Memorial Day weekend, and going forward, you can see Free the Narrative at www.freethenarrative.com. Promo code Free Cronin.
And by the way, we're going to be talking about it. So you guys watch it. I'm going to watch it. And then we'll all sit down and we'll have probably one of the most brutally honest discussions about it that there will be out there, to be honest.
I would love people to watch this and give feedback. If you can hate it, you think it sucks, say it. Tell me. We're always looking to improve, always looking to try something different. And it might not be for everybody. Niches aren't.
I think it's going to be at least pretty good, man. I mean, like EC3, dude, we watch Raw Mondays. It's putting me to bed. Now,
how much, Joe, how much wrestling do you think you watch a week? Like,
I watch probably 15 hours a week. And then throughout the week, I'm calling matches digitally for a promoter somewhere and sending them. So there's a lot of wrestling being consumed in my house.
Man, that's so much. And I just wonder, too, when people get so ingrained into the culture and into the bubble, can they think outside of it? If 15 hours, I couldn't imagine what kind of damage would it do to somebody to watch 15 hours of porn a week.
Right. Well, I think you can see the damage if you watch some of my rants.
The mental anguish that causes it. And I've noticed it too, because I'm obviously loved wrestling and I've watched so much, but finding inspirations and things outside of it and bringing it to wrestling was something I want to do.
Yeah, no, I think that what keeps me going is the things like with you, and not to harp on going back to things, but because there's a few other things I got to talk about here, but going with you, it's seeing, I know what you can do. I know what you guys did in Impact Wrestling, when Matt Hardy was doing the Delete and you were spoofing it, your spoof of it, I don't know who came up with what then and how that came about, but your spoof of it was hilarious. That was one of the funniest moments of that time. You guys really were in on that theatrical stuff before anybody back then.
That spoof was, if I recall, we were in Mexico. We were doing a co-branded show in Mexico. It was myself, Eli Drake, LA Knight, Tyrus, and we watched the thing, and it was Matt knew what he was doing, and it was being panned because it was the first time it happened, and people, when they see new and different, immediately reject it before they understood what Matt was doing. But I texted Matt, I'm like, can we spoof this? We're bored. We have our cell phones. We're in this hotel. We have nothing to do. He said, go for it. So that was just the three of us. Maybe there was another two, like Eric Tompkins, I think, holding the camera, but we just spoofed it with our cell phones, edited it together. And that's what was fun. And that's what happens when you allow talented people to just be creative. You don't curb-tail them with like scripts and direct actions. Like, allow people to be extensions of themselves, because the people I meet within the wrestling world are some of the most interesting and unique people that you'll find in any walk of life. So
Right.
giving them a forum to be who they are, turned up a notch. I mean, that's what made me fall in love with wrestling, Attitude Era and early 2000s and stuff of that nature. So I think we're getting away from that.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I mean, hopefully we come back and things, come back to that. I think people are searching right now. We're in kind of a lull here. They're looking for different stuff. That's what wrestling fans are looking for, especially the ones that have been around a while. They're looking for something different, more edgy and creative.
wrestling fans love new. So I do hope they give Free the Narrative a shot. The one thing is, I just don't know how to market something. Sort of like, here's a video on social media and a couple interviews with some influential people within the wrestling world.
We're going to market it right now.
All right.
Tell me about Velveteen Dream and your experience with him in the backstage area. Was he a hard time or no?
He succeeded very quickly. And I think when you have that initial success and that instant feedback and become, I don't want to say entitled, but favored in a sense,
Right.
can lead to things that seem like a bad attitude or negative. Personally, I don't talk to him.
Right.
So
You think he was playing that kind of Prince persona too, and he says he's living that character so much.
yeah, I don't know the circumstances or anything behind whatever was
going on.
brought on, and because I try to steer off the internet, but nothing sounds great, and I don't know. So
Okay.
hurt on that.
Well, hey, we got something out of it, because you were down there.
No comment. Like,
Yeah.
very, very talented, and if there's ever issues, hopefully he finds happiness in life.
Yeah. I think nobody knows 100% exactly what went on there. But you got that Psycho shirt on. Real quick question. American Psycho, the book or the movie?
This is a harder question to answer than the last one.
Yeah, because
The film, like, all right, Christian Bale's favorite actor. The movie's good. I mean, the movie's great. I love the movie. Quotable. The performance is on point. The book's so in depth. I think the one thing that holds the book back, I don't want to say it holds it back, but makes the movie a better option, is just how in depth every paragraph was when they were describing, like, he was describing his clothes.
oh god, there's too many descriptions in the book. Yeah.
It got to the point where, like, just get me to the murder. And there's like one or two things that didn't make the movie that are in the book that are like, even for sickos like us,
Yeah.
where we're like, oh god, I don't know if I can read.
Yeah. What?
Like, what character crafting, the stuff from the book that the movie missed, like that elevator with Tom Cruise.
Yep.
Like, that was I would say it's a wash.
Okay.
It's a bloody red wash.
I agree. There's a lot of description. I don't read too many books because of description. I can't get past when they're like the brown door on a Sunday was swaying in the breeze on the fire, and I'm just like, nope, I'm out. I can't do it. I wish I could.
Brett Easton Ellis, I love you, dude, but I don't need a 500 words on a Ralph Lauren suit in chapter 7. Like,
Well, they need to come out with books that are edited for guys like, especially like me, I've got full ADD, and so just give me the highlights in the book, you know, the juicy parts, the descriptions, knock them down. I would probably read a whole lot more then.
I before I got hospitalized, I was doing this, like, reading is important, and it made me better creatively and better human almost. But I had a niche where I would wake up super early, like 5 a.m., make my coffee, sit on the can. I'm not sitting there for half an hour because I'm taking a 30-minute dump, but I'm sitting there because I'm reading, not looking at my phone, not looking at a screen, but reading a hard book, like a hard-covered book. It set me up for the day to be mentally better. And then since I've been out, I have not gotten back into that habit. I know what you're saying, though. I wish there was a skim to the goods, but at the same time, like, that's a problem with entertainment and culture, is like, we just want to get to something. We want to get to something.
Right.
When we watch freethenarrative.com, there's times where it purposely kind of lulls down for stuff that's going to come bring you back. So I just,
right. Well, I think that's my thing. Everybody has their shortcut now, whether it's music on Spotify versus CDs or whatever. They can't watch 3 hours of wrestling. They'd rather watch a 1 hour or 2 hour program, whatever it is. They've got their thing. Wrestling is not that way for me. So I think the wrestling fans will watch Free the Narrative from the beginning to the end. I don't think there'll be a problem there. Speaking about,
we wanted something definitely. And, like, I think it helps because we don't have commentary per se. We have a narrator sort of telling the story over it. But,
yeah. Well, you would have called me if you had commentary.
when people watch wrestling, I think the commentary is just so much that, you know, forces people to look at their phone. And we definitely wanted to create something where for an hour, 88 minutes, whatever, you don't look at your phone.
Right.
Like, you're engaged the whole time, hopefully enough. And if you want to grab your phone and tweet #FreeTheNarrative fucking rules, that's cool. Or #FreeTheNarrative is absolute dog shit. That's fine too. It's your opinion. Enjoy.
I'm going to have a huge poll, EC3. I'm going to promise you I'm going to have a huge poll. I'm going to plug it for a week. We're going to find out what people think about it.
All right.
And, you know, with that going on, you're also trying to balance. Well, actually, before I move to this real quick, tell me about shooting it. How did you get the locations and how many days? How long did it take to film this?
The original, when I relaunched myself as a different character, we found a old car repair garage to film it out of. So the idea was to always have, like, this kind of Fight Club element to it where there's a different location every time. Like, I thought you started that Fight Club in Delaware. No, I thought you started that.
Yeah.
This one, we did have the benefit of a local wrestling school, but a lot of our minuscule, out of my back pocket, thanks for the corporate sponsorship, Vince, finances were to dress that building up to look like it's an underground kind of, like, this could be underground at a bar, this could be underground at a club or something. So wrestling school, yeah, that with black walls, it's perfect. Dress that son of a bitch up, set design, stuff of that nature. I believe the entirety of the action was a 1-day shoot, and then supplemental stuff with all the talent that I brought in for it. Interesting new people, interesting talent that the world should know was another day of just, like, supplemental stuff. And then, yeah, it was 3 days. 3 days we shot, and then editing. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to edit. My partner on this, JC, he's learning on the fly, directing, editing, things of that nature. The cinematographer has experience, but has no wrestling knowledge. So it was a lot of putting stuff together. So the editing was long-term, but 3 days to shoot.
Man, I got to get down there sometime. That's I loved it. I thought it was really good. I think you fooled a lot of people they think you're all like, you know, Hollywood directors. I mean, I've heard some people say it looks damn good.
It does look pretty cool. Yeah, and we're pretty proud of that.
You know what you're doing. I mean, that's the good thing, is you do know what you're doing. You fake it till you make it.
Yeah. My partner, the director, JC, also the narrator, is a very creative eye. I will give him that. So sometimes I got to reel him back in when he gets too weird.
Yeah, I need that.
He's in the room hearing me say
that. With this going on now, you're also balancing everything at Ring of Honor. What's going on? You know, you look like you're getting in the face of my brother up here, Flip Gordon. What's happening?
Flip reminds me a lot of myself, except I'm sane. Like, that guy's truly nuts. It's numerology stuff. No, Flip's a hell of a, like, hey, this is so pro wrestling. he's a hell of a talent, but
Mm-hmm.
no, he's a very talented individual. Uh, he's a little out there. I like that. He's hungry. He wants to succeed. He's very intriguing, and I think I like the direction because I knew him from Independence maybe a few years ago, where he was Flip Gordon,
Right.
so to speak. Like flipping was important. But
Yep.
he's owned that part of his style down, and he's looking like deeper into psychology and wrestling and storytelling as opposed to cool ass backflip. Here's a tope suicidal, whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a super fucking kick. Who gives a shit? I see that shit every match.
Right.
So I do like where his head's going. Get in his face, that's cool. I'll whoop his ass. Who cares?
So something might happen.
Possibly.
Something might happen. So who? And now, as far as Free the Narrative, we're about to see this. This big production Thursday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Who are you? Are you looking to bring in and keep this going, or are you waiting to see what the response to this is, or do you already have your next shoot planned?
In theory, we have 9 million ideas on the board.
Right.
Of like where it could go, what could this be, what could that be. I would like to see feedback and responses and things of that nature. I'm so desensitized with wrestling sometimes because I've been, it's not as cool as it used to be, that I don't need to do more wrestling. Sort of like I enjoy the hell out of Ring of Honor. That's great, but I love to create things outside of it and try different things. I think I need to see response to affirm my beliefs in continuing and being bold.
Right.
In it. If it just sucks and people say it sucks, that's fine. I tried. But if it like rules and it like people love it, but it just doesn't have traction, that'll be disheartening. And then I have to judge how much I actually believe in creating something that could be that different and going forward at the expense of my life, family, my personal health. Like I was in the fucking hospital because I'm overstressed and overworked, shit like that. So,
are you living this too much, or you feel like you're living it in out of the ring all day long? You can't stop kind of obsessing about wrestling.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Character arch and act is kind of like transcendent of that in a sense. But then when I invest myself into something, I'm all in. So whether it's running this t-shirt print shop, which is basically our paper suite, it's our front for nefarious activities, justifiedprints.com if you ever need t-shirts, to trying to launch like a supplement company, a fitness based fucking empire, Free the Narrative, working full-time to wrestle, and training my ass off. Like there's a lot, dude.
Dude, man, EC3 is doing everything. So Thursday, we got the first thing we have to do is get everybody to watch this Thursday, May 27th. What time does this go up?
We're gonna put it up at 8 p.m. I reckon. But a thing like this too, I'm not sweating a big giant like film blockbuster opening weekend.
Right.
I think with word of mouth and slow burn on this, especially with kind eyes like yours, Joe, touting its praises, screaming from the heavens how amazingly transcendent it was, will help greatly. Or if you're saying, dude, this sucks, you got to watch it. It's only $10 with my promo code free Cronin. And at least, we sell some pay-per-views. But yeah, I do think this is going to be a word of mouth thing. I have no idea how to market shit. That is my problem. And that's what I'm working on. I can do shit. I just don't know how to sort of oh, here's a tweet and here's an Instagram post. Like, I don't buying ads, fucking algorithms. It's fucking
yeah. Well, we haven't talked about here yet about something we should look forward to or about something else.
Yeah, you facilitated some very intriguing questions. I guess if I can just continue the hard sell, everything's original in this. The writing, the creative, the talents being able to present themselves how they see, opening these doors where I kind of reinvented myself through my own means, opening that for other talents who the world may know, they may not know. I think every major wrestling company is represented in one aspect. So short of WWE, every 3-letter corporate wrestling brand and Impact have representation in this. Every match that takes place, every fight is the first time any of these people have had fights against each other. So every fight is original. Tommy Schaffner, our composer, created like an epic soundtrack, and the music is super original. I'm super proud of it. That soundtrack should be available, and I think people will really enjoy it. We covered an old Nine Inch Nails song for the theme.
Ooh.
So that's pretty, yeah, we did some sweet shit. Matt Cardona, my evil, whatever, my enemy, has probably what would be, if produced properly, the greatest wrestling entrance of all time into the narrative. So we're really proud of that. We paid great fan service to his loser fans, and then, you know, the rest of the world.
Yeah, he's got a lot of, I mean, his fans all walk around with wrestling figures all day. So
all day. So yeah, we just really wanted to keep the integrity, because we love wrestling, because the physicality, the realism. So it's big on me to keep it, wrestling is physical and real, but also through a cinematic lens, through a documentary style. Wrestling could be so much more, and wrestling could tell stories that need to be told. I think wrestling's lost that aspect that's telling realistic stories, and it's ADD-ish, man.
yeah,
And trying to calm it down. I guess you'd say create art. Art is interpretive, however you may see it, good or bad. We created it, and we're very proud of it, and look forward to having people see it and letting us know.
Well, hell yeah, man. Thursday, like we said, I'm going to be doing a big party this week for it. We're going to be talking about it, reviewing it, having a blast. So again, guys, make sure you check this out. This is really cool. You're going to love it. I'm going to get to see it, I think, ahead of time. May 27th. It's $14.99. It's on Vimeo. I'm going to have the links up all week. We're going to be plugging it. We're all going to see it. So we're all going to be talking about it. So you want to see it too, so we can all talk about it when it drops at 8 p.m.
And don't forget, free Cronin knocks 20% off that. So
free Cronin, man. Free Cronin from my house today, man. The 3 kids, the wife, everybody's having some kind of brawl today.
You have 3 kids?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know,
I have 0. I wasted my life.
Oh, you're still young, though. I don't remember how old you are, but I'm older than you are.
I'm not that much younger than you. I don't know. Let's not.
Well, listen, man, check it out. I love the 3. I love the logo. Love the look. And we got to talk again about it maybe afterwards. If you got a second when it's all said and done later on, maybe reconvene about what you thought about the feedback.
I would love to do that no matter what. And I want honest opinions, man. I don't want you to sugarcoat it because I'm a huge celebrity and I can kick your ass. I want you to be blunt and brutally honest, which I think you will. And I'm pretty sure your fans will, as far as I know.
Yeah, a lot of them are crazy psychos. So we're all in this. We're all a bunch of nutcases. I'm glad they got through to you because they still haunt me. So
yeah, they're good people.
Guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks to EC3. Thank you so much, man. We tried to hook up so many times over the years. I tried to harass you a few times, and we finally got it done. Big project this Thursday. We'll see you guys next time, all right?
Thank you, Joe, for your support.
Tonight, May 27th, it's finally here. Control your narrative. Free the narrative at freethenarrative.com. When you use coupon code FREECRONIN, you get 20% off. Tonight, one of the most original productions, one of the most intense videos and wrestling events you've ever seen. Oh my God, no! freethenarrative.com